Personality disorders are among the most misunderstood conditions in mental health. The term itself can sound intimidating, but in reality, personality disorders describe patterns of thinking, feeling, and relating to others that become rigid and create difficulty in everyday life. Everyone has a personality. Personality includes our emotional tendencies, how we respond to stress, how we view ourselves, and how we interact with other people. For most individuals, personality traits are flexible. People adjust to different environments, relationships, and life experiences. But in personality disorders, these patterns become unusually rigid. They may create repeated difficulties in relationships, work environments, or emotional regulation. Personality disorders are not simply difficult personalities. They are recognized mental health conditions involving long-standing patterns of emotional processing, interpersonal behavior, and self-perception. These patterns often begin forming during adolescence or early adulthood. Over time, they become deeply ingrained ways of responding to the world. And because these patterns feel familiar to the individual, they may not initially appear problematic from the inside. Often, difficulties become most visible in relationships. Many individuals with personality disorders genuinely want healthy relationships. But the patterns they developed earlier in life may unintentionally create repeated misunderstandings or emotional instability. This can lead to cycles of conflict, withdrawal, or emotional distress. Understanding personality disorders requires moving beyond judgment. These conditions are not moral failings. They are patterns shaped by a combination of biological vulnerability, temperament, and life experience. From a neurological perspective, personality disorders often involve differences in emotional processing, impulse regulation, and stress response systems. Certain brain circuits involved in threat detection, reward processing, and emotional regulation may function differently. These differences do not define a person's identity, but they can influence how someone experiences emotions, interprets relationships, and reacts under stress. Clinically, personality disorders are grouped into three broad clusters. These clusters help clinicians understand patterns of behavior and emotional experience. They are: Cluster A, unusual or eccentric patterns of thinking and behavior. Cluster B, dramatic, emotional, or impulsive patterns. Cluster C, anxious or fearful patterns of relating to others. Each cluster includes several specific diagnoses. In the next video, we'll explore these patterns in greater detail. Understanding the differences between them helps reduce stigma and clarifies why treatment approaches vary. Personality disorders do not mean someone is incapable of growth or change. In fact, many individuals experience meaningful improvement with therapy, self-awareness, and consistent support. But change often takes time because personality patterns develop gradually. Reshaping them requires patience, learning new emotional skills, and developing healthier relationship strategies. In Part 2, we'll take a closer look at the major types of personality disorders and how they affect everyday life. Understanding these patterns helps people recognize symptoms earlier and seek appropriate support.